She used to be an actress.
She ever done anything I've seen?
I think her biggest deal was she starred in a pilot.
What's a pilot?
Well, you know the shows on TV?
I don't watch TV.
Yeah, but you are aware that there's an invention called television, and on that invention they show shows.
Yeah.
Well, the way they pick the shows on TV is they make one show, and that show is called a pilot. And then they show that one show to the people who pick the shows on the strength of that one show, and they decide if they want to make more shows. Some get accepted and become TV programs, and some don't and become nothing. She started one of the ones that became nothing. Welcome to Couch Pilots, all of my friends. It's the show that dares to fly into the unknown territory of awful television pilots of the past. My name is Jason, and with me is my reptar. It's Captain Philip Ressisher. Welcome.
Saul's acquaintance we forgot and double back to the beginning. How are you, Captain?
Fine. You're singing the New Year's. Today is December 30th.
Not in Australia. I'm partying for Dee Dee.
You're partying for Dee Dee?
Yeah, right now she's partying, counting it down. 3, 2, 1.
So you got drunk for Dee Dee's? Dee Dee's one of the biggest fans of our program, thankfully.
Yeah.
We love Dee Dee.
You love the death.
Right, and that's oddly because usually I'm the one who gets real drunk. You can operate at being drunk, but this is the drunkest I've ever seen you.
I'm just old acquaintances.
Are you all right?
I'm fine.
Do we need to cut the show and wait a few hours till you sober up?
Nope. I'm celebrating. This is the only way I can celebrate New Year's with my best friend Dee Dee, is to be drunk on the first.
Tomorrow's actual New Year's Eve. Are you
not in Australia? It's right now.
I understand that, but where you live, it will be New Year's Eve tomorrow. Are you going to do something special for New Year's Eve, or do you need to sleep whatever this is off?
Well, I'm sure my wife is going to want to do something, and by the time she figures it out, it's going to be too late, and I'm going to get drunk at home and get in trouble and not have no sex.
But
ask me what I want to do. I just want to go to the Moose and have a good time, or sit at home and watch TV.
What do you want to watch on TV?
I want to watch Nailed It. I love watching Nailed It when I'm drunk.
I've not seen that show yet.
And that is a failed baking show that fails. Everybody fails on it.
Oh, it's a baking show?
Everybody fails on it.
All right.
And the host is that big black lady who's super funny.
Monique.
No.
That's Oprah.
No, she's been on Doughboys a lot.
Octavia. Oh, I know who you're talking about. I don't know her name.
Yep, that's her.
Oh, okay, well, good.
That's what I want to do.
You sure you don't want to cut here for edit and then come back sober?
No, I'm doing it live.
All right, well, there you go. Welcome everyone to the 21st season. Is 21st or 22nd?
It's the 22nd season, episode 2.
22nd.
We are gonna look at the pilot episode of the famous show Alice.
Nope, that's what we're gonna do, but you fucked that up. So we're gonna watch Rugrats, the pilot episode of Rugrats, the unaired pilot episode of Rugrats.
See, I picked one out that was unaired.
Oh, hey, you sobered up.
Hey, as soon as you said Rugrats unaired pilot, I was like, oh, now I know.
Thank God
that's
you
my
sobered
sweet
up.
spot. I didn't think I could do that the whole way through.
Oh my God, I was trying to give you edit cuts to bow out of that bit, but
bow down to the bow wow.
This is weird that you picked Rugrats.
Really?
For multiple reasons. First of all,
okay.
This is the show where we talk about television pilots, shows that only had one episode. We threw that out for this season. We're talking about successful shows that we love. In our 10-episode season, we each pick 5. Last week, I picked SNL.
Right.
Their first episode, 1975. This week, you're picking Rugrats, and you were probably 16 years old when Rugrats came out, which makes it real fucking weird to why you picked this.
No, it's not weird
at all. It is 100% weird, and
no.
now you explain yourself.
I'll explain myself. When my oldest was born, we watched a lot of TV, and we watched the Rugrats. And so I had a little sentimentalness about the Rugrats because me and him used to watch it together.
Okay.
And, I've watched a lot of shitty pilot cartoons
Right.
that were awful.
Yeah,
and
we
I
watched
was,
a fair number of cartoons here.
and I was like, what cartoon of all the cartoons on the universe? What cartoon did I love to watch as a as an adult?
Yeah.
Right?
I feel like you're digging yourself a hole still. But go
No,
ahead.
I'm just saying, and I just thought that Rugrats would be awesome to do. I thought it would be something different, something I'd be throwing you a knuckleball. You were swinging before the ball even got out of my hands, and maybe it's a little punishment for you for making me watch a bunch of superhero fucking cartoons.
Punishment. I'm trying to make this show work.
This is the pilot's challenge, and I wanted the best way to win this challenge is to pick a fan favorite.
This is a ringer for you.
Yeah.
So
one ringy dingy, two ringy dingy.
One of the at one time possible permanent 3 hosts of SNL, Lily Tomlin. Very good. So your oldest child is what, 45, 50? I have a
22.
daughter who is going to be 14 soon. Kill me. And it would be like me saying, you know what I want to watch for this season? I want to watch the pilot episode of Dora the Explorer. That is the equivalent. That's the equivalent. I don't. This is very odd to me that as a man.
And this is not like I had a space I had to fill. Like when I
There's plenty to choose from.
no, there's plenty to choose, but this one beat out Dallas. I wanted to do the pilot episode.
I've never
of Dallas.
seen that. And it's not like, it's like saying when I was a kid, I loved this show. I loved the G.I. Joe cartoon. I was 7.5 when the show came out. I loved it. I want to watch. We're talking about a show that premiered when you were 16 or 17. Mm-hmm. This is weird.
So I had my first.
You are a weirdo.
Maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
We'll. I think we absolutely will see. I don't. Anyway, so last week we started the season off with me doing Saturday Night Live.
Which obviously that was going to happen.
But did you really call some of the ones that I was going to do? Did you know?
Oh yeah. That of the list that you chose, I had all but one.
Oh, here. What was it?
Sopranos.
And how do you spell The Sopranos?
It's SEPRANO''S.
And what's the cartoon one I picked?
The Simpsons.
No, it's not. What is it called?
The Simpsons.
No. What did you write there?
The Simpson.
The Simpson. Hold on. This is even better. So you typed up. You opened up like a notebook page or a Excel sheet, and you typed up the 10. And what is that right there? Are you holding a screenshot?
Right, because
You took with your phone?
this is the screenshot I took with my phone.
You have a piece of paper of the list.
that I emailed to myself that I printed out at work because I had to make changes because we had a little snafu.
So that piece of paper you're holding is a picture you took of your phone? Oh, I love it. That's great. I can't with you. This is wonderful.
And the Sopranos is the only one that's underlined from. It's only one that Word document said was wrong.
Well, that's because you've turned spell check off on everything because it's a fucking nightmare. It's like Russian spelling for you. It's all these consonants with lines through them and shit. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to give you a hard time. I grew up.
I feel as though you're bullying me in regards to the Rugrats.
It's a competition, okay?
Sure.
I got to talk some shit if I want to win, and you were more than welcome to talk to me about this. But we're talking about a man watching cartoons, baby cartoons.
So from this point on, it's cutthroat. Is that what you're saying?
It is on like so much Donkey Kong.
All right, let's now we can do it. But I was nice. I was nice last week.
Oh yeah, you're a real sweetheart. Listen, I do like the Rugrats. I will tell you, I grew up watching the Rugrats. I liked it. But I was arguably age appropriate, being your junior by 6 years.
When you're watching TV with your kid, and they have favorite shows, right? You're gonna watch them, and you're gonna watch multiple episodes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Blue's Clues. I hated Blue's Clues, but I watched it so much. Rugrats. He loved it. I loved it. We had fun with it.
Stay tuned next week when I do the pilot episode of Nickelodeon's Bubble Guppies.
Ooh, let me write that down. Bubble guppies.
You sound turned on by bubble guppies. I think there's probably a lot of bubble porn. I was told recently that there was porn of a woman stomping on a dildo. What the fuck does that mean?
I don't know, man. There's some weird shit out there, like the farting in cake thing. I don't understand that either. The shit ones, I don't understand that. The when they're peeing, what was it called?
Like water,
squirting,
water
when they're squirting.
Oh, they're squirting.
I can understand, I guess.
I do like the squirting ones because to me it's like what gets me excited in the bedroom is when my partner is excited.
Sure.
And when a woman is squirting, that means physically something is happening, or so she's so excited.
Right.
It
makes you feel like you won the World Series.
It does. It's like you hit a grand slam at the World Series.
Yeah, there's some weird stuff out there, but I had never just stomping on a dildo. Must be a foot fetish kind of.
I've never heard of that one. I was also talking to someone about anal fisting recently.
You know what? That one I will not. I mean, I watch a lot of dirty shit, but I will not watch that.
I've never seen that.
I
was dumb and naive to think it didn't exist, but anal fisting, like when a guy is like having sex with a lady in her posterior, and then he pulls out the penis and he's like the asshole is gaping.
Sure.
I don't like that. I don't like gaping porn either. I don't want to see in there.
Right. Yeah.
I like it when the thing is in there. I don't want to see, and I'm not even a huge anal guy. I'm just saying I don't want, like, even the front hole. I don't want to see any gaping holes.
Right.
That doesn't do it for me.
Yeah, like when the thumbnail has fisting in it, I skip over it.
Do you like gaping?
No, I don't.
And this is something else. The same person I was talking to about anal fisting was also saying prolapsed anus is a porn thing.
Yeah, I like I said, thumbnails. I've seen a couple of thumbnails. What I don't like about when I'm watching porn on my phone, when I'm trying to find one, is eventually you have to like take your thumb and move the screen up to get to the next set of thumbnails. And inevitably, it's either a black guy with a big huge dick, or it's a fisting, or I just try to flip up over it so I can't see it. Yeah, no, I don't. If it's gaping, no, you go to the doctor and retire.
To me, it's just like you're basically saying I need a cork in my asshole because if I have to shit, it's just coming out.
I don't know how they do it. I don't know how. I have so many butt problems pooping, and I have never had a gaping asshole or a protruded asshole.
A protuberance, a trunk butt.
One of the Star Wars Empire. Band of brothers.
What's that now?
Nothing. I totally botched it. It's fine.
All right, that's fair.
It's fine. I'm just so excited about talking about Rugrats.
It is prolapsed anus to Rugrats is a very it's a short line. It's a very it's an easy jump, easy to segue. We have the new year happening tomorrow.
Today in Australia, mate.
Well, it is interesting though because it'll be 2020. So far removed from my actual vision, but still, it's weird to think we'll be in the 20s. Remember, 100 years ago, it was called the Roaring 20s because there was an age of industrial booming.
Right.
And now we just have a lot of Snapchat.
Here's a question. I want to see if we can call this or not. At this time, we could have had an impeached president. Do you think, yes, he's been impeached by now or no?
1,000%, of course not. Not only he may be impeached, but just because he's impeached doesn't mean that he's going to be removed from office.
No, if he gets impeached, he's going to be removed from office.
So he will absolutely not be.
Do you think he'll resign like Nixon did before he gets impeached?
1,000% no. He's okay. This is one of the geniuses of Trump, and I think his spill over to society in general. If you were smart in this PC woke canceled nation that we've created, if someone gets and focuses their gaze on you and says, Blake Clayton, 5 years ago I heard a podcast of you and you would not stop saying the N-word. You love the N-word. You know what? We all love the N-word. Of course we do, but we're not saying it. But you said it 1,000 times. I am going to cancel Blake Clayton. What they want from you is power over you. What they want from you is an apology. And Donald Trump, I don't like Donald Trump. I'm not a fan. But what Donald Trump doesn't do is ever admit wrongdoing. He never apologizes for anything. Okay? And I think that's people respect him for some odd reason. I think there's a lot of being humble
Bitch, be humble.
You apologize, and people will respect you for standing up and saying, you know what, I did the wrong thing. Donald Trump doesn't do that. He won't be impeached, and I'll go as far as to say 100% he will win the next election. 100%.
Wow. You heard it here first.
He will win the next election.
Wow.
No doubt about it.
Wow.
Yeah. We will have 8 years of a man who says, "You fired," as our president.
Do you think we'll make it 8 years before we either go to a world war or... Here's a question. Okay, that's the first question.
Okay.
Do you think there'll be a world war? If he is elected in the next term, do you think there'll be a world war before his term is up?
No, I don't think there will be a world war. No.
Do you think that there'll be an attempt on his life within his next presidency?
I'm sure people want to do that.
No, I'm saying like an actual,
No.
some woman tried to shoot
No.
Gerald Ford.
No.
No?
No. Even though Gerald Ford was only like 40 years ago, like the amount of technology and how far we've come is unbelievable. It leaps and bounds technology. No, he will be the next president. There'll be no serious publicized attempts on his life, and there will be no Third World War.
Do you remember Nostradamus?
Nostradamus.
Yeah, that's what I said. I put an N in there, but Nostradamus.
Yeah.
I remember as
Pretzel.
a little kid when my parents had HBO, and this was right around the same time that fucking Ozzy Osbourne concert on HBO scared the shit out of me.
Is that where he bit the bat in half?
No, he didn't. But it was just a really spooky. I was scared of him. I didn't, But there was a Nostradamus movie.
So it wasn't like a documentary about his proclamations, but rather a film
it was
about his
like
life.
It was like a documentary. But the guy who played him was like a famous
Ben Kingsley.
No, it was a famous director, Orson Welles, maybe. No,
Okay,
but somebody played him.
George C. Scott, George Wells, Orson Welles.
But anyway, it scared the shit out of me
Because he's probably a lot of doomsday talk.
Yeah, it was all doomsday talk.
And as a kid, you're like, this is on TV. He's saying it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Right. When they're like, and then he said this, and this happened. And, he might have said, there'll be a band of crows that,
A murder of crows.
Right. But but they could spin it to something that happened. It just freaked me the fuck out.
Here he is. There's nothing that Nostradamus knew that we don't know. He was just a person. He wasn't a magician or a wizard. He was a guy who could speak so in generalities, like a modern day palm reader,
evangelist,
or an sure. Yeah, there's probably not a lot of difference between an evangelist and a palm reader. But it's a man who said all these kind of broad stroke things, and then you could take those things and be like, oh my god, Nostradamus was talking about this. No, he wasn't. He was just spouting some fucking bullshit.
Man.
Are you scared now?
If it came up on Netflix, she's wagging her tail once.
Your dumb dog is upstairs?
Yeah, she can hear our voices.
She's awful.
No, she's not. What was I saying?
You want to watch Netflix all day?
Oh, yeah, I'll watch Netflix all day, but if there's a Nostradamus thing on it, I don't know if I'd watch it.
You think it's scary?
I watch serial killer stuff all day.
I would say it's silly, but when I was young, the Fox network, probably not unlike Ghost Watch in the UK, would show a program called Alien Autopsy.
Okay.
And they said, hey, we got an alien right here. This is real. We have an alien, and now we're going to cut it open, and we're going to have rough, grainy video footage of it, and you're going to see it. And as a kid, that is terrifying.
Right.
There's something about being a child and thinking about aliens and the X-Files and aliens with big heads and huge eyes. That's, for some reason, that really scared me as a kid.
Oh, for sure.
So if something came on Netflix now, I probably wouldn't watch it.
There's a lot of those like Ghost Hunter TV shows on. They're as an adult, you're like, these are fucking lame.
Absolutely.
But as a kid, if those shows were on when me and you were like,
that's your Nostradamus. That's my X-Files Alien Autopsy.
Yeah, but you're watching it today, you're going, this is fucking ridiculous. Like I was watching it at the bar the other night. I was out in the smoke room watching this one, and they're like in this abandoned building where there was a kid that supposedly drowned in a pool, and they had heat-seeking lights and stuff, and they're like screaming, trying to get this thing all out. And I was like, this is dumb.
Well, when you say okay, so there's a game in the arcade like called Deer Hunter, or Buck Hunter, and you go and you pull the gun out, it's orange, and you shoot at the screen, and at the end of the game, if you've killed a deer, then you have a deer to show for it.
Right.
When on Ghost Hunter have they ever at the end grabbed a ghost by the scruff of its neck and say, here it is, we got it,
Right.
we got the ghost?
They just have heat sensing footage
There's
that anybody can make.
There's nothing.
Right.
How stupid are we that we believe in ghosts and think that they can be caught and put on a cable network?
Hey, we like the movie Ghostbusters. They put them in a can.
Yeah. Are you ready for the new Ghostbusters?
Yeah, you know what? I really do want to watch the woman one.
I've never seen it. I bought the Blu-ray recently at a garage sale. I need to watch it.
Cool.
You're excited about the new Ghostbusters, though?
With the original members?
Except
the black
for
guy, Dan Aykroyd,
Ernie Hudson,
and Bill Murray.
Aykroyd, yeah. Harold Ramis, obviously, R.I.P. So he won't be. He was Spangler. He was like the real nerdy scientist. And then like Annie Potts will be back in it. Sigourney Weaver will be in it.
Ooh, nice. Probably not as nice as she used to look, but
who's that guy? Who's the guy? Part of the Mackenzie brothers, the Second City.
Oh, okay.
Rick Moranis.
Rick Moranis.
I don't know that he's going to be in. I think he's retired from acting. I think it'd be awesome if he showed up.
Oh yeah, they'll throw some shackles.
I don't know what that means.
That's Canadian coins.
Oh, I thought it was Loonies and Toonies. Paul Rudd is going to be in it.
Oh, of course, Paul Rudd's in fucking everything.
He's great. He's fucking great. Anyway, yeah, you want to move along?
Yeah.
All right.
You have any segue into the Rugrats?
Ladies and gentlemen, the captains have turned on the fasten seatbelt sign.
So I had to explain what we're doing this season. We've already done that. My note says berate Blake for being too old to enjoy a cartoon at the age of the premiere. I already did that. Okay, today we discussed the pilot episode of Rugrats from the year of our Lord 1900 plus 90. Now that was a great year.
1990 was great. Let's see, I was 16. 15, 16.
15, I was 9.
All right.
I was 9.
Yeah. Still young, dumb, and full of cum.
Now, what does that mean? Because how
I was young.
does that mean your testicles were full of cum, or like the entire contents of the like under your skin was all semen?
That just means that I had not had sex yet, and so thoughts of having sex made me full of cum. My sackies.
Do you think you're close to that right now again?
What?
Because you don't have sex very often.
No, not very often.
So do you think you're about full of cum?
Yeah, yeah.
How long does it take to get you full of cum?
It's funny.
Middle-aged, dumb,
Well,
and full of cum.
Today's Monday.
Today's Monday.
And I made a bet with my wife on Saturday night because she was really, really drunk, and so Sunday morning she had to give me a blowjob before bowling. So I'm not right now. I'm not too full.
That is very real. That is very specific. Okay.
And hey, I know she doesn't listen, so she's not gonna get mad.
So I got to take it one step further. I apologize, but she lost a bet and had to go down on you.
Yes.
Did you? Was there any enthusiasm in the oral sex at all?
I'll tell you. This is the story. I woke up Sunday morning. I always wake up before her because it's bowling day, and I'm very excited. Mm-hmm. I wrote my prayer. And I sat on my phone and waited for her to wake up.
Sure.
As soon as she opened her eyes, looked over, I said, "I'm ready." And she said, "What?" I go, "We made a deal." And she goes, "Aren't you going to say good morning? How you doing?" I go, "Nope, I'm telling you I'm ready."
And it's ready.
Well, she had to do, I mean, I can just have it ready. She's got to do something.
Oh, my God, that's wonderful. Is it ever gone the other way?
It was very much like a job, just so you know. She was
a lot of grunting.
No grunting. It
huffing
was,
and puffing.
No huffing and puffing. That would have been great, but it was more of a
just mechanical at this point.
Robot.
What about you? Have you ever been like with her? Have you ever had a sexual bet that you've lost?
Oh no, she doesn't want to have sex with me, so she never puts that up as a bet.
Okay, so she doesn't want any sex from you.
No,
not even oral from you.
Well, I mean,
so is it like basically, if this happens, I'll blow you, but if this happens, you have to clean the bathroom.
Oh yeah, that kind of stuff happens all the time. Why do you think those lights are out there in the front yard for Christmas?
They look great. I'm glad you lost that bet. They look fantastic. 1990, 1990. It's we are almost 30 years removed. Wow. In a few days, it'll be 2020,
right.
And then it'll be 30 years.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. But so obviously, it's not 1990 right now. What's that?
Huh?
What do you got there, buddy?
Oh yeah, 30 years.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, just doing some math in my head.
That's fine. Let's go back to 1990. in our minds. And to do so, we'll talk about things that happened that year so we can properly digest this pilot based on the year in which it was released. December 2nd, for the first time, 12 people are in space at the same time. Do you want to live in space?
No.
Why not?
It takes too long to get anywhere.
The doctor says I have wildly dense bones, and I think living in space for an extended period of time will give me less bone density.
Well, don't you want a lot of bone density?
Well, when I get in the water, I sink like a stone.
I to get to anywhere besides right outside our atmosphere, it takes too long. You know what I mean? Like by the time you're gonna have to go as a baby.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You know what I always think is weird? Is you ever see the picture where it's like, here's the sun, and then here's the size of the planets compared to the sun.
Yeah.
And the sun's like the biggest fucking thing you can imagine.
Right.
And then you look at Earth, you're like, it's just like a pinprick. But then you look at Jupiter, and Jupiter's pretty fucking big, right?
Right.
They say if you take all of the planets that are not Earth and you push them together and make it like a line to make them as wide as possible, you all line them up.
Yeah.
All of that could fit between the Earth and the Moon. Doesn't that seem?
Yeah. No, it's
That's crazy.
yeah, it's far. Everything is fucking far
Everything
away.
is so far away.
So far away. Doesn't anybody just something about hurts anymore? I don't want to live in space.
What about outer space? Inner space?
Inner sanctum.
The space between.
I should be living in inner space right now. I should be living within myself, and I'm not. So I don't. I have to say no.
If you
to
can't do it in inner space, why would you do it in outer
that.
space?
Right, for sure.
That makes sense to me. December 4th, due to Persian Gulf crisis, gas hits $1.60 per gallon in New York City. I tell you this, I would kill you right here in this cockpit, no questions asked for those gas prices.
Sure.
Yeah, I consider you a good friend. I would kill you dead for $1.60 gas.
I hear you. I remember when I first got my license in my car in Creve Coeur. I lived right like a block and a half from the gas station.
Oh, the nice part of Creve Coeur.
It was 99 cents a gallon.
I think, honestly, yeah, when I got mine, it was the lowest I remember it being was like 97 cents.
Yeah.
And that summer, gas was cheaper to drink than water, so we did.
That's why he has such great bone
It
density.
killed Eddie.
Eddie Vedder? God, I wish he was
Oh,
dead.
that different Eddie. Yeah, that's incredible gas prices. Right now, I think I filled up my gas tank today. I think it was like $2.66, which is only $1 more than this.
Right.
But I remember like in the years following 9/11,
Oh,
the gas got up to like $4.
Yeah.
Like it was fucking crazy. Mm-hmm. Like it was $80 to fill up my gas tank.
yeah, for sure.
I had a big like Silverado
Oldsmobile.
truck and an Oldsmobile as well, and I went to fill them both up. It was $80.
That's crazy.
It's crazy.
Like I said, I remember when 9/11 happened. When my mom called me and she's like, "Go to the gas station and get gas now," and they had already gouged it like by $2. It was crazy.
Unbelievable. December 5th, British Indian novelist Salman Rushdie appears in public for the first time in 2 years after Iran called for his assassination for writing the book. Do you know the book? The Satanic Verses.
Didn't know.
VS. That's weird. Like Iraq, all these Muslims, they're ready to kill you for like anything. They don't have freedom of speech. If they feel like you've slighted their religion at all, they'll hunt you down. And they'll murder you for Allah.
Right. If you're like wife or you're a woman and you just like show your elbow,
Right.
you're gonna get your fucking clitoris cut out.
Oh my God! They'll carve it out with a fucking cantaloupe scoop. Do you want to draw pictures of the Prophet Muhammad with me?
Sure.
You ever hear that? You never heard of that? Oh, we have to get some charge on this right away. On this. No, the Prophet Muhammad is like he's basically like the Jewish Jesus, where the Jewish people don't believe that Jesus was like a savior, but just a great prophet to God. And then Muhammad is like this. He was like the greatest prophet for Allah or something. And if you draw a picture of him, they will hunt you down and kill you. You will have what is it? Is it a jihad or no? A fatwa. You'll have a fatwa put on your head. Hey, where do you think the fucking charge cable is? It was always plugged in over there, right? Are you going to do it? You do it now.
I have an extension cord.
Didn't we just spend a bunch of money from Patreon? Why can't we figure this fucking shit out?
Well, I used the. I just realized I used the extension cord that I have down here for that to light the Christmas tree.
Do you use that? Do you use that for anything else but the show?
No.
I'm going to take that with me today.
Okay.
I think I want to build a carrier for it. I want to build some sort of like easel that can sit on so it can charge at the same time where it's in use. Because right now when you charge, you have to lay it flat like we're a bunch of fucking animals.
Okay. Did it go completely dead?
No, it didn't, but it was close. That thing's fucking old too, right? The battery's probably...
Oh, yeah.
So if we just leave it charged, we can leave it charged all the time. Let's just do that, and then we'll have a carrier for it. It'll be great. Well, give me the rest of that Patreon money. I'll go buy some pine at Lowe's and build a little carrier. What, do you want this cord?
Yeah.
Here, suck on this. Why do we choose to watch Rugrats? Wow. Wow. What is that? Why did that happen?
Huh?
Why did that happen?
I'm magnetic.
Uh-huh.
I'm Magneto boy.
It's your personality.
Yeah, for sure. 3 simple criteria. 1, this was a show that went on for more than 1 season, and we enjoyed it, or it made some touching moment in our life. 2, it had to be free. We had to find it on the internet. And, that's 2 and 3. Great job, Blake. For all our new listeners, it really goes this smooth all the time.
You can find the entire episode.
All you Rugrat maniacs out there listening for the first time, it goes better than this.
You can find the entire pilot episode of Rugrats by subscribing to Couch Pilots and SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app of choice, and then simply click on one of our classically blue links in our show notes, or download the app for Daily Motion and check out all the commotion. Press the button. It's your job now.
Which one am I pressing?
Press take off.
Take right here.
Hurry the fuck up. Hurry the fuck up. Use sound effects too. Press other sound effects.
Flight attendants, prepare for takeoff, please.
No, not that one. Press you don't know what hard times are, Daddy. Scroll up the whole screen. Scroll up the whole screen. Press you don't know what hard times are, Daddy. No, not that one. No, don't press that one. Fuck it. All right.
Oh.
Yeah, this is great. This is real. This is great. I'm taking that fucking that thing home with me. Summary of the pilot. I got two summaries here.
Okay.
The first one is for the series as a whole. The cartoon misadventures of 4 babies and their snotty older cousin as they face things in life they don't understand. Rate it.
B+.
This is for this episode specifically. Tommy is curious about the toilet and thinks it's trying to speak to him, so he attempts to sneak into the bathroom to communicate with it.
But you know what? It's not lying. I'll B+.
Yeah. So B+ is across the board. B+ is for everyone.
Oh, I guess. What is it when you're in kindergarten? You get what do you get?
AIDS.
Maybe.
Oh, what were you gonna say?
Like S for satisfactory or something for
unsatisfactory, satisfactory, and exceptional. I don't know.
Yeah.
Interesting facts.
Is there interesting? Oh, hold on.
There it is. Yeah. Hit the woo for Ric Flair.
It's the woo.
It literally says woo. It's all the way up to the right. You're on the left. Now you have to hit interesting facts again. Hit it on a loop. Press it and hit the loop. Now you don't know what hard times are, Daddy. Awesome! It's at the bottom.
You don't know what hard times are, Daddy.
There you go. That's good. Interesting facts is the part of the show where we say we've seen the episode. You have to turn that down, man. Wow. We thought this season would be different. We thought it would be better. We thought we could do
amazing things.
We did think that. I don't think it anymore. I think this is as good as anything we've ever done, if not slightly worse.
It's because I made my wife happy and used my extension cord for the tree.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah, it affects her and you
if you sat
versus hundreds of people from around the world.
If you sat here, you could use it.
I'm not sitting there. Our fucking mojo's off, and you know it when I sit there.
Is it not off right now?
Interesting Facts is a part of the show where we dig a little deeper into the pilot and we give you information you wouldn't have otherwise about the program. Now that we're doing a successful series, we're doing a little something where we say, hey, here's something about the series as a whole, and then here's something about the it's going to take a little bit, but we got some information about Rugrats. Is that all right?
Oh, that's great.
Okay. Rugrats is an American animated children's television series created by Arlene Klasky, Gabor Cuspo, and Paul Germain for Nickelodeon. The show focuses on a group of toddlers, most predominantly Tommy, Chucky, twins Phil and Lil, and Angelica, and their day-to-day lives, usually involving life experiences that become much greater adventures in the imaginations of the main characters.
Tommy Pickles.
Fact. The series premiered on August 11, 1991 as the second Nicktoon after Doug and before The Ren and Stimpy Show. Production was initially halted in 1993 after 65 episodes spanning 3 seasons, with the last episode airing on May 22nd, 1994. At this time in Nickelodeon's history, they had a very strict 65-episode policy for all their shows. That was an attempt to keep them young, fresh, and keep kids entertained.
Okay.
From 1995 to 1996, the only new episodes broadcast were a Rugrats Passover and a Rugrats Hanukkah, 2 Jewish-themed episodes that received critical acclaim. During this time, after the end of the show's production run, Rugrats began to receive a boost in ratings and popularity due to constant reruns on Nickelodeon. In 1996, Klasky Cuspo Animation began producing new episodes, and the show's 4th season began in 1997. As a result of the show's popularity, a series of theatrical films were released over the next 5 years. The Rugrats movie, which included Tommy's younger brother Dill, was released in 1998. Rugrats in Paris, the movie, which included Kimmy, Kira, and Fifi, was released in 2000. And Rugrats Go Wild, a crossover film with another Klasky Cuspo series, The Wild Thornberrys, was released in 2003. The final TV episode aired on August 1st, 2004, bringing the series to a total of 172 episodes over 9 seasons. The 13-year run, with the 2-year break, ties Rugrats with King of the Hill as one of the longest-running American animated television series.
Awesome.
Fact. Let's see. I got a little bit more here. On July 21st, 2001, Nickelodeon broadcast the made-for-TV special All Growed Up to celebrate the 10th anniversary of the season premiere. The special was a pilot for the Rugrats spin-off series All Growed Up, which aired from 2003 to 2008, as it chronicles the lives of the babies and their parents after they aged 10 years. Another spin-off series, Rugrats Preschool Days, aired on TV in 2008, but only had 4 episodes after Nickelodeon decided to focus on the first spin-off series. 2 direct-to-video specials released in 2005 and 2006 under the title Rugrats Tales from the Crib. Tie-in media for the series included video games, comics, toys, and various other merchandise. Rugrats gained over 20 awards during its 13-year run, including 4 Daytime Emmy Awards, 6 Kids' Choice Awards, and its own star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. The series garnered high ratings on Nickelodeon and was the network's top-rated show from 1995 to 2001. It was Nickelodeon's longest-running cartoon series for 8 years, until SpongeBob SquarePants aired its 173rd episode in 2012. The show is Nickelodeon's 3rd longest-running animated series behind SpongeBob SquarePants and the Fairly Odd Parents. On July 16, 2018, Nickelodeon announced a revival of the series to be executive produced by the original creative team of Klasky, Cuspo, and Germain. It was further announced that Paramount Pictures had greenlit a live-action CGI hybrid feature film originally set for 2021 release before being pulled. So it sounds like the revival could still happen, but the film is dead.
Yeah. I don't think a film would be a right setting for this.
Live action
be weird.
mixed with CGI would be odd.
Yeah.
All the music for the show was created by Mark Mothersbaugh of the band
Bare Naked Ladies.
Devo.
That's close.
This is the pilot that we saw here. This is the pilot sold to Nickelodeon in 1990. It was mostly seen at animation conventions and became widely available to view to the general public in the 10-year anniversary DVD Decade in Diapers. So this was the one, if you watch this, it's like watching the Tracy Ullman version of The Simpsons
Right.
and then watching The Simpsons like,
Right.
oh, this is a lot different.
Right.
It's not a ton different, but there are noticeable differences between this pilot that kind of circulated and was the pilot to sell to someone
And then the first episode.
versus the series, yeah. This was the only Rugrats episode that Brad Bird animated. He's a big-time animator / writer known for The Incredibles, Iron Giant, and Ratatouille. The release date for this, when it actually came out, even though it was made in 1990, the actual release date for it was August 7th, 2001.
Wow. Okay.
Right before 9/11, R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Interesting facts over.
Good job. I mean, you did that on the fly.
That's all from memory. It's all in my head.
Well, should we even discuss the whole debacle from last night or no?
Go ahead.
Well, originally I wanted to watch Alice. I thought I had the pilot episode of Alice. I thought I had the link to it. I watched it and said, there's no way this could be the pilot. And I found episode 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but I could not find one.
All of Alice, all on YouTube?
Yeah.
Okay.
Had you done a lot of legwork on that pilot prior to me changing it?
Nope.
Okay, good.
No.
I was really worried about that. I was telling Molly, I was like, he's probably, because he wouldn't say it to me, he wouldn't tell me, but if he did a whole bunch of legwork for it.
We're going to make Alice work one way or the other. So even if I had done a bunch of work on it, it would be used anyway.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter. And it will, because you said it's available for purchase on Amazon.
Oh, Amazon Prime, yeah.
So that's fine. It's available. We'll get to it. Even if I had done it, we'll be able to use it anyway.
Okay.
Nothing to worry about.
All right.
All right. Let's go ahead and set the clock then for 10 minutes, and we're going to break down it's less than 7 minutes, this pilot episode.
Right.
Honestly, this came out at a time for half-hour cartoon comedies for kids on Nickelodeon where in that half hour you had 2 episodes of the show, and they're probably about 10 to 11 minutes apiece.
Right, for sure. It starts out with, would you say it's calypso music?
Yeah, it's like all the episodes start with this. Bow, bow,
Right.
And it's kind of this weird pattern that's shaking and moving in the back, and then kind of a spiky, like you'd see a comic book character talk. It's that round shape, and it's got the title in there.
Right. And what I noticed right off the bat is like this is the artwork is, the animation is drawn in like perspective of how Tommy sees it as a crawling baby.
We're in a baby POV for sure.
Yeah, and to me that's kind of cool.
Yeah, the show did that sometimes.
Yeah.
It definitely did. Yeah, it's a hallmark of the program. It starts off with an old man that we would find out.
Grandpa.
In this, he's called Stu Senior, Stu Pickle Seniors, but in the show, I believe he was called Lou.
Okay.
And so, but yes, Grandpa, as he is known, he's in the bathroom, and apparently he's always in the bathroom. And it's got Tommy thinking some things.
He's like, what is, because he sees his this big huge white thing, and it flushes or something, and he thinks it's trying to talk to him. He's a baby.
He's crawling towards it.
He's
He
a
wants to know
baby,
what
yeah.
it is, and then right before he touches it, which
Grandpa.
I don't know about you, Blake, but I never touch the toilet if I don't have to. I'm
No.
not going in there, putting my hands on. I got to touch this cold porcelain. No, it's gross.
And I also
probably
would-
my piss is all over it.
I also would not let my kid crawl around in the bathroom.
Absolutely
But the
not.
grandpa doesn't see him. We can't, it's not his fault. He finally sees him, picks him up, takes him back, and that's when we hear Stu. We see Stu, his Tommy Pickles' dad,
And
and
his
his mom.
wife.
His mom.
Yeah,
And we see them for the first time. They're entertaining guests or something.
they're all sitting around a table chatting while
Uh,
Grandpa, I guess, is watching the baby or something.
Right. Well, Grandpa takes him and puts him in the playpen, the big fenced-in playpen, not like the ones we had when we were little. There's like the fenced-in ones.
Yeah, it's like it looks like one of the ones that probably like pulls
Expands.
apart like an
Yeah,
accordion. Yeah.
And that's where we first meet Phil and Lil. They're the twins. Okay. And
They dress alike. Their names are similar. A lot
one's
of
a
times,
boy and one's a girl.
Yeah, Philip and Lillian, and a lot of times they will talk in unison. And then when they're not, it seems like they're disagreeing with each other.
Yeah.
And this is what I always liked about Phil and Lil. When they were disagreeing with each other, they would call each other by their full names.
Right.
I don't think so, Philip.
Right. And then that's when he starts talking to him about this, this monster, this thing, and that he discovered. And he says, Tonight I'm going to go in there and I'm going to find out what it's all about.
And these kids are 1 year old,
And they're having
less.
conversations with each other.
They're having full conversations. They're not like, this is not like the baby geniuses where they're like highly intelligent. These are kids who are cobbling together words and sentences, misusing things, but the parents can't hear them talk. That's important.
That's very important to know that.
Yeah, the parents don't hear them talk. The parents don't know that they're in there planning and scheming and communicating.
Right. So the parents put him to bed. He give him a bottle, and you see it from, the inside eyes.
More POV from Tommy.
Yeah. Okay, that's a good way. POV. I'll write that down.
Point of view.
I know. I watched porn before. Huh? And he looks like he's going to sleep, and you can hear him talking. And then he opens up his eyes. It's all dark. He gets out of his crib with a screwdriver that he's got hidden. Where he got that, I don't know, but that's awesome.
I don't want to know where he had it.
It's
probably a gaping situation.
He's waddling down the hallway toward the bathroom. Not scared because it's dark, as most 1-year-olds would be scared. His diaper is either full or just really big as he's walking.
He's not one of those modern form-fitting diaper wearers.
There's no Huggies. This is the old-fashioned cloth ones.
They're big and bulky, and
it just seemed weird.
Yeah, it's like when women used to wear those tampons or pads that like went around their waist.
Ugh.
You remember those things?
Yeah. So he goes into the bathroom. He knocks on it, and he starts climbing.
Anyone home?
Yeah, and he starts climbing a plunger to get over this thing. And this sequence right here. It's pretty crazy, and I think for animation, like the sequence is well done, and like how he almost falls in, he grabs the towel, it's very like Jim Carrey, kind of like physical comedy, kind of Jerry Lewis kind of thing.
I think that's an important point to bring up. I love, like, I've checked out of cartoons a long time ago when it comes to going to the movies. It's all computers now. I love hand-drawn cartoons. This is that. This is a drawn cartoon. There's no CGI here. And it's not even like 1960s, 1970s shitty Hanna-Barbera where you got a few people moving and the background is just still.
The same thing.
Or it's repeating when Tom and Jerry are running through the house and somehow the house has got 45 bedrooms because you're running down the same wall. It's not that. And even Warner Brothers didn't have the greatest animation, but everything's moving here. Everything is drawn.
Right.
This is, to me, I like this animation. This is good animation.
Yeah, for sure. And does everything from toilet paper, slips on it, a towel on the toilet, turns the sink on accidentally.
Toilet's overflowing.
He's all trying just to get himself, because he saw himself in the water, scared the shit out of him.
Absolutely. Thankfully, when he's hanging on the edge of the sink, the dog comes in, and Tommy falls onto the back of the dog. The dog takes some drinks out of the toilet, and they mosey on out of there.
Yeah, he moseys on out, and because him and Grandpa, the dog and Grandpa, are watching TV.
Watch like some sort of fishing show or something.
Sure.
It's dark in there. The only light is coming from the TV. Grandpa's half out of it just watching. The dog sits down with Tommy on his back. He doesn't even realize they're there, Grandpa.
Right, and then Grandpa gets up to go to the bathroom, and he's like, holy shit!
Yeah.
And he starts screaming and yelling, wakes up Stu and his wife. They all start screaming. Tommy's just sitting there hanging out with the dog, takes the remote control, flips it to rock and roll MTV or something.
Tommy's mastered the art of the screwdriver and apparently remote controls, too.
Turns the volume up super loud. They're rocking out. Him and the dog are rocking out. And as it ends, all you hear is the bickering between the grandpa and then the husband and wife.
Yeah.
Like, clearly for a long period of time.
Yeah, I hate it when my toilet overflows for it to be a surprise and having to walk in there. And late at night when you want to wind down and go to bed.
And seeing the mess worst. Besides just the flooded toilet. I mean, it's the whole thing.
It's a nightmare. I hate it. And I think that for me would probably cause a lot of turbulence.
Please remain seated as we are now crossing a zone of turbulence.
You're doing a great job.
Thanks. I had to get my bearings.
This is again where we say, why didn't the show work? But it obviously did. It is far and away one of the most successful programs Nickelodeon has ever had, and it is a cultural touchstone. I would even say in the past few years, I would say the past 3 to 5 years, this show has had a reemergence, as well as a lot of those early Nicktoons. People are growing up, and they're looking back and saying, oh, I love this. And now these people
really?
have money.
There's people growing up looking back at him and saying, oh, I love this?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I'm sorry to make such an obvious point.
So older people might pick this for a podcast.
All I'm saying is that people that were like 6 or 7 that were watching it have grown up and they're now in their 30s.
Okay, now that you clarified it, it's kind of weird.
People in their late teens to early 20s watching it aren't going back and saying, I love this. They're saying, I love HR Puffin stuff. Do you know HR Puffin stuff stands for Human Resources Puffin stuff?
I don't think I've ever even watched it. I've heard y'all talk about it.
Why did this show work?
I think... Okay, well, I'll just get my list out here. Like I said, I had memories of watching this with Austin, even watching reruns with Austin.
Yeah.
I think that it's one of those kind of cartoons that's cute for kids. They kind of can learn stuff, but also there's not like adult jokes, but it'll keep an adult's attention, I think. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I was joking earlier about how you'd watch this with Austin when he was young and how I would watch Dora the Explorer with my daughter. This Rugrats is far more palatable for an older person, whether it be someone in their teens or an adult, than Dora the Explorer.
Right.
That show is so dumb and watered down.
Yeah,
It's attempting to teach you something. Rugrats, I don't think, is really trying to teach you anything. It's just trying to entertain you.
Sure.
And it's doing a better job for an older person than a Dora would.
Yeah, like I said, I like how you said it doesn't dumb it down.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't. Dora does act like you're retarded.
It's watered down, and it's talking to a child who can barely, function. Where Rugrats is maybe for someone who is like 6 to 8 years old, and even beyond that, if you're a parent watching, you're like, oh, okay, it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
The parents are funny.
It's cute. It's funny. It's cute.
Yeah.
Everybody loves a little Jewish family with a bunch of kids.
I will say too that this show is as successful as it was. You see a lot of pilot episodes and a lot of changes were made throughout the series. There are some notable characters that are missing in this show.
Number 1, 2, 3, Chucky.
Chucky, yeah.
I love Chucky.
Doing a Chucky impression.
Oh, God, it's been a while. It has been so long.
That's wrong.
I don't even know if I can do it.
I don't know, Toby.
Yeah, it's always like this because his nose is always clogged up from the sinuses.
This is a real sad thing. That the person who originally voiced Chucky is a lady by the name of Christine Cavanaugh, who was kind of a Nickelodeon mainstay. She was played the male lady on Salute Your Shorts and had done a lot of voice work. She passed away about 5 years ago, I believe, from cancer. It was kind of a very quiet passing, but she was such a great voice talent.
Sure.
And Chucky is such an iconic voice that it's really sad that she is no longer with us. But that was Christine Cavanaugh, and then you also had Angelica, kind of and I love when worlds build villains with no real consequences.
Right.
And like a great example of that would be The Adventures of Pete and Pete, which is a great program. It was honestly on my short list of ones that we may have done. Angelica is that for this show. She is the villain. She's always feeding misinformation and trying to trick the babies and treat them poorly.
Sure.
A lot of times it backfires on her.
Right.
And in the scheme of things, there are no real consequences, but she is the villain who is not represented in this short. Right? No, thank you. Who else is missing?
Oh,
Chucky's father. I think Phil and those parents.
yeah.
Right.
Well, I think Phil and those parents were in the dining room. You just couldn't see them.
They may have
didn't
been.
introduce them to him. There's there's a lot of this that, if I started watching, I'm like, oh yeah, because I remember what he looked like Chucky's parents looked like and stuff. But yeah,
actually, it's funny you mentioned that. During my research for this show, I came across my computer.
a Rugrat porn.
Kind of. Have you ever heard of creepypasta?
No.
It's these short little weird takes and stories that are kind of scary or creepy, and this one is some fan fiction or fan theories rather on the show Rugrats.
Okay.
And my computer's so taking a shit on me right now. Anyway, someone said, I'm very familiar with the Rugrats world, the stories, the characters. Sometimes people formulate theories about shows, things that are actually happening that are never really said or never even really confirmed, but almost like a fan fiction, if you would. And God damn it, I don't think my computer seriously just shut down my internet. There's a very interesting, and it's very dark too.
Okay.
I think you might like it if it would come
Can
back
you
up.
Can you just send me the link and we can put it in the show notes?
I can do that. I might be able to come back to it here
Okay,
too.
that's fine.
It's coming up again. I really need a new computer. How much money you got left in the Patreon?
I'll tell you offline.
Yeah, that's fine. Hot damn. Okay. Well, we'll see. We'll see if it comes back up. It's a very dark take, because a lot of times fan fiction is something like sexual.
Right.
This is not sexual.
Okay.
But it is. It's a dark take on what has been or what could have been. Anyway, we'll skip that for now. I'm sorry that I brought it up and I'm not able to pull it. I had it up. Anyway, let's go ahead and move towards our final descent here, shall we?
Ladies and gentlemen, as we start our descent, please make sure your seat backs and tray tables are in their full upright position.
Final descent. We've seen this show. We dug up all this information. That we don't have a special key or some back entryway into all this. Anyone can do this, and some people have. Some people have seen this and decided to comment on it. So we'll talk about some of those things right now. Rotten Tomatoes.
Okay.
The Rugrats program is on there, and again, it's not for the individual episode, but for the series as a whole. This is the audience score. What do you think the audience said?
82%.
An unbelievable 96%
Wow.
of people like Rugrats from the audience.
That's awesome.
IMDb. Now, this is for specifically the pilot.
IMDb.
1 out of 10, decimal points in play. What do you think people from around the world score the pilot episode of Rugrats?
8.5?
It's 7.3 from 60 ratings.
Okay.
I was hard up to find some critic reviews, but I did find a lot of viewer reviews, and I'll just read some headlines here. 8 out of 10, Part 1, The Golden Years. I don't know what that means. 10 out of 10, Rugrats, a classic Rugrats ruled. Another one, It Used to Be Good, but Now, ... was my number 2 favorite show on Nickelodeon. Cute, intelligent, and funny. What a great children's show. Once great, now horrible. 8 out of 10, a crowning jewel of Nickelodeon, which somehow ended leaving a bad taste in everyone's mouth. 7 out of 10, a great show at first and then became nothing but a cash cow to Nickelodeon. Are you getting a theme here?
Yeah. It makes me want to check out
Some of the later seasons.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I was an early adopter because it was when it first came on. It was part of SNCC, Saturday Night Nickelodeon, and it was like a 2-hour block. I believe it had Doug, and then Rugrats, and then you had the Ren and Stimpy show, and then you had Roundhouse. Do you remember Roundhouse?
I don't remember Roundhouse.
That was a live-action sketch comedy show for kids before all that, but it was like older teenagers. It wasn't children. It was older teenagers doing it.
All right.
And this was on SNCC, and that's when I watched it. But when it got older in like the early aughts,
Yeah.
I was so checked out. I had no idea it was even still on. I wonder how bad it really got.
Yeah, I mean, like, I guess for me, by the time that Austin was able to, like, watch TV, you know, maybe I was watching reruns of all the old stuff, you know what I mean? I didn't get to the old new stuff, the new old stuff.
And that's probably what people wanted anyway. People wanted those old ones. They wanted to see those reruns. That makes sense to me. I don't know.
Oh, I used to hate watching Blue's Clues. I was always like, let's watch Rugrats
That's
instead.
a dumb one. That's a
yeah,
dumb
that's
one
a
like
Dora.
Dora.
That's the first Dora. Blue's Clues is the first Dora.
All right, I got this Rugrats theory up. You want this?
Okay, sure.
It's really dark.
All right.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. The Rugrats really were a figment of Angelica's demonic and unimaginable imagination. Chucky died in 1986 along with his mother, and that's why his father, Chaz, was a nervous wreck all the time. Tommy was born in 1988, but he was a stillborn, and that's why Stu is constantly in the basement making toys for the son
He never
who
had.
never had a chance to live. The DeVilles had an abortion in 1990. That's film, though.
Yeah.
They had an abortion in 1999. Angela couldn't figure out whether it would be a boy or a girl, thus creating the twins. As for All Grown Up, the teenage Angelica became addicted to various narcotics, which further aggravated her schizophrenia, bringing her back to her childhood and thus creations she obsessed over. Because of time lapse between the present and the last time she interacted with her creations, she made them older. Angelica was constantly taking hits of acid so she would never have to live without her creations, who were her only company. In a judgmental world, Angelica's mom actually died of heroin overdose in 1982, just after Angelica was born, And Drew, in his depression, married a gold-digging whore that Angelica idolized because she fooled herself into thinking it was her real mom, but always had a concept of her mom, Cynthia, which is the name of her doll.
Right.
And took a Barbie doll and made it after her mom's image, wearing an unwashed orange dress, having jacked up hair, which is why she was so attracted to it. Later in life, she followed in her mom's footsteps with drugs and everything, and dying of an overdose at age 13 when All Grown Up was canceled. Canceled in quotes.
Quotes, yeah.
The only Rugrat not to be a fictional character was unborn Tommy's brother Dill. However, Angelica didn't know the difference between Dill and her creations, although Dill didn't follow her commands. After endless crying and a refusal to disappear like the others did when Angelica was angry with him, she hit him. Due to this, he sustained a brain hemorrhage, which resulted in a deformation. As he grew up, his damage only became more evident, and by the time he was 9 and all grown up, he lived as an outcast, being ridiculed for his weirdness and retardation.
Jesus.
The immense guilt over this is what led Angelica to her drug use and what led Angelica to uncreate the Rugrats briefly until her experience with hallucinogenics. There's a little bit more. Do you want it?
Yeah, give it to me.
On a trip to Paris to find love, Chaz married a woman named Kira. He was actually going to marry a different woman named Coco, but she just wanted him for his money, who had a daughter named Kimmy that was torn from her because she had a cocaine addiction. Angelica imagined her from Kira's stories. He lost his mind after the death of his wife and was in denial that she was ever a prostitute. Upon return to America, Chaz and Kira married, and she got her green card. It was actually a really happy and romantic story. Kira continually struggled with addiction, but was relatively happy with her life in Chaz. Susie was actually Angelica's only friend, who entertained the thought of Angelica's creations for her sake. Angelica spent the last days of her life in the back of the school cafeteria, imagining friends around her and playing with the lives of her creations.
Awesome!
That was awesome.
So arguably, someone with a lot of time on their hands.
Oh, for sure. They should do a podcast instead of doing that.
Oh my God! Perhaps.
That's crazy.
Let's rate this thing and be done with it.
Yeah, let's rate it. Let's. Did we already land then? Do I need to land?
Hit landing. That's what you hit right now.
Like,
hit it right now. You hit it right now. That's what you do.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I was doing good.
It's fine. It's
local time is 11.
3 out of 7.
Temperature is 60 degrees. For your safety and comfort, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the captains turn off the fasten seatbelt sign.
Rugrats. Any other information before we grade this thing that you want to put out there about the show? Anything else that you can think of or recall? Something you want to mention to the listeners?
I just remember hanging out with Austin on the couch because I worked third shift, right? So I get off third shift and I come home, and then
Is that Zellers?
yeah, and so I'd stay up for like maybe 45 minutes or so to watch an episode with him before I went to bed, and then when I got up, his mom would leave for work, about. So
Does it seem like an eternity ago?
yeah, it really does.
It seems like a different life, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm not the same person.
Yeah.
I'm not the same person.
Well, now it's time to score Rugrats. We gave you the summary, we gave you the plot, we gave you the interesting facts, everything along the way. Now it's time to rate this thing based on the television program, affectionately and accurately known as Wings from the 1990s. We take a look at all the characters and assign them a number. 1 is the worst score you could possibly get for Rugrats, and that's a Roy Biggins. And the best character on that show, that's a number 7, and that's a Brian Hackett. Captain Philip, rest assured, I turn to you. How do you rate Rugrats?
All these characters were unique. You talked earlier they didn't dumb it down for you. They weren't stupid, so an adult could watch it and not necessarily love it, but be entertained or think it was cute. I'm gonna go ahead and say I'm gonna give it a 5.
Okay.
Like you said, this unaired pilot there are some obvious animation changes, from when it got going, but if you'd watched it before, you don't really notice that very much.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll give it a 5.
Give it a 5. More so than you, I was probably an appropriate age to watch this when it came out, but 'cause I was like 9 or 10.
Sure.
And so when Snick came out, I was like, oh, I didn't go out on Friday nights or Saturday nights as a kid. I stayed home. It was cool if I got a Subway sandwich. That would be awesome. That would be an awesome night.
You like 6 inches or 12?
I'm a 12-incher boy. And so I used to sit home and watch The Adventures of Briscoe County Jr. on Fox, starring Bruce Campbell. And you watch that on Friday night, and Saturday rolls around, and you plop yourself in front of the TV again, and turn on Nickelodeon. You got a block of entertainment just for you, Snick. Doug, I thought was cool, right? That was about kids about my same age.
Sure.
Ren and Stimpy was a real fucking head trip weird show.
Yeah, and that, that was...
It honestly shaped some things for me personally.
Obviously.
Well, I don't know what that means. Roundhouse was a more grown-up show, but the one that kind of sat in the middle there was Rugrats. It was, to me, it was aimed a little lower for smaller kids, but at the same time, like I said, a older audience could appreciate it. But it was the most palatable for a child, for Snick. It was part of my childhood. I remember Rugrats. I've seen a lot of episodes. It's been a long time since I've seen one, and I was happy to revisit it today. I think the animation is good. I think the story for being a 7-minute short was good. I enjoyed it. I liked it. I liked Rugrats then. I don't know that I would like it now, but I liked watching this pilot. I give it a 5, just like you.
Nice.
I think it was good. I enjoyed it. And it's very obvious. Thank you, everyone. It's very obvious to me why this went forward.
Right.
There's no question about it.
And we've watched a lot of cartoons that were shit.
Oh my god.
Right.
What's the worst cartoon that we saw? I don't remember the name of it, but it was the 3D animated one where they went to like a music world and a spaceship, and like Paul Rubens was a voice. Do you remember that one?
Oh, I don't remember that.
It was fucking bad. It was real bad. I don't even remember what it was called, but it was a piece of shit.
We need to like make a list and like go back and just like, I don't know. We should, what we should have done is we should have kept track of all our ratings.
We're not going to do that now.
Nope.
Let's see if I can find it. I'm looking at it. Where is all $1 a second? The plot thickens. The Groovinians.
Oh yes, I do remember that. Yes,
That was fucking
that
terrible.
was terrible.
Holy shit.
But Rugrats was not terrible.
No, a far cry from that for sure. And with that, we close the book on Rugrats, and we will never speak of it again.
Ever?
But join us next time, won't you please, when we watch the pilot episode. I don't know why are you shaking your head?
Because
Why?
this is so you. This is so you.
And because it's so me, it's worth shaking your head. It's
No,
bad
it's
that it's so me.
everybody knows. Everybody that's listened to this show for a long time should know your boner has been for this.
So why shake your head? Why is that bad?
It's not bad. It's just shaking my head like I knew this was coming.
Join us for the pilot episode of Late Night with David Letterman. Here's a little something to wet your whistle. Popular late-night comedy talk show with host David Letterman interviewing famous guests. You can find the entire episode of Late Night with David Letterman by subscribing to Couch Pilots and SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app of choice, and then simply click on one of our classically blue links in our show notes, or go to YouTube, Blake.
And you know what to do, too.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You're not a Letterman fan. You're a Leno boy.
No, I'm not a Leno boy. No, not at all.
Who are you? Who you be? Who be you?
Who be you? I guess I'm a Johnny guy.
But that's like it was over 91,
I know,
93.
but I don't have anything against David Letterman. I guess when I was watching Late Night with David Letterman, I was paying attention to the people he was talking to, not him.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So that maybe that's what it was.
But when you're
like
watching
the monologue and stuff.
When you're watching Carson, you were paying attention to Carson, though?
Yeah.
What was that voice?
Yeah, I think.
Meow.
Well, I was paying attention to Ed too.
You love McMahon?
I love it.
I love how on every episode of I loved how on every episode
was he drunk all the time?
that he was drunk.
Yeah.
I was gonna say he had a big check under his arm.
In balloons.
Publishers Clearinghouse. What is that? What is Publishers Clearinghouse?
I don't even. I think it's like
Something about magazine subscriptions?
yeah, and I think like iTunes cards.
Something about gift cards from eBay? Something like that?
Something like that.
I think the only way to be a part of Publishers Clearinghouse is head down to your local dollar store, right?
Right.
All right. That's enough of that shit. Yeah, if you like this show, and God, I can't imagine that you would, go to couchpilotspodcast.com. Every single episode we've done, episode 1 to episode, I guess this is 212 at this point.
Wow.
You can, no, it's more, no, it's got to be more than
222.
It is no, it's 212. 212. You can find them all on our website. You can get a hold of us through our email, through our Facebook, through our Twitter. You can call us. We have a phone number, 910-745-6871. It's 910-PILOTS-1. Leave us a voicemail. You can put your voice on there. We'll hear your voice. It probably sounds dumb.
But we'll play it.
We'll still play it.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't care how dumb your voice is.
We need to see if it even works anymore.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah. But somebody has to call in to do that. Also, you can check us out on Spotify. On Spotify, you can also check out all of our episodes. Subscribe to us on iTunes, all that good stuff. We would love for you guys to check us out. We know that there's a lot of people that might be checking out the show for the first time. And
we'd like to apologize to you.
We'd like to apologize. We had a rough night. Had some technical difficulties, but we watched Rugrats.
Yeah.
And that makes it all better. You watch this 7 minutes, and you watch this 7-minute cartoon, and you'll feel good after.
I think you feel good.
Yeah.
It's a quick. You can take it in really quick, and it's all good. It's all positive stuff. We're on Patreon. If you want to give us money, you're investing in the show. Honestly, we don't go out and spend it on tacos or burritos. We spend it on equipment to make the program better. So if you're contributing to that,
We need to spend it on talent. Am I right? I thought that was the best joke I've done in a long time. But then I had this.
yeah, it's easy to think your joke is good when you have a button congratulating you on it.
Oh, yeah!
All right, if it's a certain amount of power, isn't it?
It is. Have you felt a little awkward?
Yeah.
You can tell because you don't know what to do with your hands.
I didn't know what to do with my hands. My right hand is pressing a screen. Do you have a message of positivity today?
Yeah.
We're doing pretty good on these pilots so far.
No, for
The
sure.
season, 2 out of the 10 we're done with, and they're both scored a 5, which is in the positive.
Right. We are at, all joking aside from earlier, we are a couple days away from New Year's Eve. Everybody just be careful. Have a good time, but know your limits.
Be responsible. Call a ride share.
Call an Uber.
It's the second biggest party day of the year now, right?
Yeah, the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, right?
Blackout Wednesday.
Yeah, Blackout Wednesday.
Yeah.
Don't be a hero if you've had too many beer. If you have had enough beers, just get a ride home.
Unless you're a superhero.
No, that's not positive.
No, I was just saying, like, if people need help, you could be a superhero.
Sure. If you haven't been drinking, you're a superhero if you drive somebody home.
Unless your superpower is that you can metabolize alcohol quickly and it doesn't affect you.
I wish I had that superpower.
It's super specific, and I might be talking to 1 or 2 people only. But if you have that superpower, then
what are those? What is that disease where you like?
You age backwards.
No.
It's Benjamin Button disease.
No, it's like where you ferment in your stomach and like it makes
you're
you
naturally drunk?
Yeah.
It's called being fucking lucky is what it's called.
Being fucking lucky.
Can you imagine how much money you save on booze?
Fuck yeah. Just be careful, everybody. We love you very much, and thanks for checking out the show. If it's the first time checking out the show, check out a couple other episodes. Just sprinkle it and before you delete us.
Got 212 to choose from. I tell you what, folks, this pilot was the start of a very successful series. And it's always a smooth flight here on Couch Pilots. Thanks, everyone, and we'll see you next time. Oh, turn that off. Turn that off. You're doing both? Are you happy with that?